Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Welcome to the show, professional MMA fighter Mason DeLess. Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Very good intro, Luke. Good to
I
talk to you,
appreciate.
brother.
Hey, it's always great to talk to you. We get to see each other at a lot of the local fights that 247 Fighting Championship puts on, so it's always fun to see that. Uh, I have not had you on the show as a pro fighter. Last time you were on the show, you were an amateur, so that's pretty exciting. You've got a big fight coming up just over 2 weeks, 15 days away, March 16th for Made Men Promotions at the Marriott in Morgantown. It's a great little location right on the water. It's beautiful. They put on a great event there. What are your thoughts coming into this fight? Particularly, what are your takeaways or the things you've learned having turned pro and already having one pro fight under your belt coming into this one?
Yeah, I feel good. Once like my first pro fight, it was really nice to be able to use all my weapons. Just be completely free, and if the head kicks, the knees to the head, the elbows. I know these things are all there. They're available for me now, so it's I feel more free. It feels pretty good being able to use all my weapons. And my first pro fight, it was a really good fight against a very skilled opponent with Jeff. I was actually just messaging him a little bit ago. He was messaging me. We were just kind of we were bullshitting a little bit. It was a good time. But he was a real good opponent. It was a stylistic matchup. He ended up getting me with the rear naked choke in the third, but I got to display some of my striking and some of the tools that you can really only use as a professional. And I'm excited for this next fight. A little bit different stylistic matchup. I think he'll want to stand up with me a little bit more, which I'm really excited for. Most people know I like to stand up and trade and have a good, exciting exchanges. And obviously, I'm prepared to go to the ground as well. But I feel like it's a good matchup. Should be a good show.
I think that's the exciting part. You're a pro MMA fighter. You're learning. It's really cool that you're still in contact with Jeff. Was that somebody you already kind of knew or were friendly with, or is that kind of a friendship born out of your first pro fight?
Yeah, I think it was more born out of, after our first fight. I've always been super respectful towards all my opponents. There's this just common denominator and mutual respect with fighting. I've never had any beef. I've never had any problems with any of my opponents. Really, it's always been a mutual thing. We're all sharing the same passion. We're all chasing the same thing. It's kind of like Bushido code. We're just a couple gladiators, a couple samurais going in there, going to battle, shake hands, and we go to war. And then after, we just hug it out, and we can have a good time and joke around. And we, don't always have to become like super buddy, but it's always mutual. I hadn't really talked to him prior to that fight, but I knew of him. I knew he'd been around for a long time. And very good opponent, very respectful with him and his team.
Well, that's great. And like you said, every opponent, every fight slightly different. It's nice that you're at least friendly, after the fight, because that's the exciting part. You've shared this moment, that experience of being in the cage. Really great that you're planning on putting on a great show. I agree with you. I think it's styles make fights. So goes a long way. You are attending and representing Stout Pittsburgh, which is the current two-time reigning Gym of the Year for 247 awards, as well as Coaches of the Year. And I know Coach Will is big into stand-up. So what do you think it's been like training with him as far as working on your stand-up? Because you mentioned that you feel like, striking will be an advantage for you in this fight.
Yeah. Needless to say, incredible coaches. You know what I mean? Mike Wilkins, incredible MMA coach, grappling jiu-jitsu, with his MMA experience and just everything including. Will Morrill, amazing striking coach, coach all around. he's very adamant about the techniques and just like really good fundamentals, you know, things that necessarily not a lot of MMA gyms focus on enough, you know, like the clinch, just being a good position, good footwork, hand trap elbows, a lot of the things that are super essential for both amateurs and professional fighters. So I couldn't ask for better coaches, as well as training partners. Huge team at Stout. Obviously, we have a lot of MMA guys, and even the guys that aren't on the MMA team. You know, great group of jiu-jitsu guys, and a great group of strictly Muay Thai guys. And also very important that we cross train a lot with the Mat Factory, the Academy guys, and a few other guys that come through. And I think that's like in our area, that's not necessary, you know, that's a common thing in our area, and it's very good. We get to cross train together and we just make each other better and level up. And that's not necessarily something that's done across the board, you know, in the different regions. Some gyms do not, you know, cross train with each other. That's very taboo to some gyms. But you know, we're open to cross training with, you know, most anybody that wants to work with us. We get good work in with, you know, Chris Dempsey, Isaac Creeley, the Worthies, and we have a great community in Pittsburgh for the MMA team.
And I think that is something that we don't want to take for granted. Me covering regional MMA, Pittsburgh primarily, it's such a unique thing. And there's been a lot of people from most of the gyms that you mentioned that have said in post-fight interviews, like, it's Pittsburgh versus the world. Like, having that mindset that you're representing your gym, of course, and your unique styles and techniques, but you're also representing Pittsburgh, and the fact that the Academy and, of course, Stout and the Mat Factory all cross-train and, you know, regularly compete alongside or sometimes against fighters from those gyms. It really makes it very exciting. There's already so many reasons for people to get excited about this card coming up March 16th at the Marriott Morgantown. You're a big part of that. Super pumped, super excited. You mentioned cross training, so you'll be aware of Cheyenne Hall, of course, Dempsey's part there. And so I'm gonna have her on, hopefully, to talk about her pro fight. You've got a pro fight on that card. So it's just an exciting time. It's really exciting time. I just did an interview, didn't even get a chance to post it yet. Just did an interview with Josh Fosoki. So very excited about him. So there's just a lot of great fighters on that card. Super excited. For people that haven't bought tickets yet, reach out to Mason so you can get tickets for the fight, because it's definitely a great location to get down to, just down 79. So thanks so much, Mason, for coming on. Hopefully I can continue to follow your career as you move forward. So congrats on your upcoming second pro fight, March 16th, 2 Saturdays from now. Thanks so much. Luke Mason from MMA Fancast with Mason DeLess. Thanks again, bud.
Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. Will you be at the venue?
My plan is I went last year to this exact, it was March 18th last year, but this exact venue. And yes, my plan is to be there. I got to figure out, I think my cousin might have a high school musical I might need to go to, which would be in Cincinnati, which would be impossible to be in two places at once. I always joke, Mason, since I'm an identical twin, I always joke that I've already done that once, split myself. And so I can't do it again, but I really do plan on being there, and hopefully that'll work out to see you. And there's a lot of Stout, there's a lot of great Pittsburgh fighters on that card. So hopefully, I'd like to say at this point, yes, and hopefully I can make my trip to Cincinnati work around it as well. So thanks so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you March 16th. Thanks again.
Thanks again, Luke. I'll talk to you later, brother.
I can't wait. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.